So good evening again, and welcome to the 2024 Wood Buffalo Multisport Awards Banquet, brought to you by the Wood Buffalo Sport Connection and the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. We are delighted to have you here with us tonight to celebrate the outstanding achievements and dedication of our sport community. My name is Mike Hull, and I will be your host and MC tonight. Thank you. I'm looking around the room. I see a lot of familiar faces, and I see some new faces, and I see Marty and Joel. Second time we've met, because I met them at the beginning of the show, and I feel like we're good friends, but we'll see later on. But it's awesome to have everybody here. Everyone looks great, and it's a great night to celebrate. So before we begin, we acknowledge that we are on Treaty 8 territory, the traditional lands of the Cree and the Dene peoples, and the unceded territory of the Métis people. We are grateful for this land, which supports our lives, our play, and our growth. As long as the rivers flow, the grass grows, and the trees stand tall, we commit to honoring this land. Through sport, we strive to build a community that respects and celebrates these traditions. Tonight is a special night where we come together to celebrate the spirit of sportsmanship, the pursuit of excellence, and the sense of community that sports bring into our lives. It is a night to recognize the hard work, dedication, and passion of our athletes, coaches, and supporters who make Wood Buffalo a vibrant and thriving sports community. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed guests, two of them which are now my friends, award nominees, and their families. Your presence here tonight adds to the significance of this event, and we are honored to share this moment with you. We would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to the Wood Buffalo Sport Connection and the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame for their unwavering support and dedication to promoting sports in our lovely region. Your efforts are instrumental in nurturing the next generation of athletes and bringing a sense of community through sports. Before we dive into these fantastic festivities, I want to take a moment to thank our wonderful sponsors for their incredible support. Boucher, Headco, Mr. Matt Pate, and IG Wealth Management, Prestige Jeweler, Carter World, Coldwell Banker, and North Star Ford. Your generosity helps us create amazing experience for our sports community, and we truly, truly appreciate it. So another big round of applause for our sponsors. Thank you. Now, let's get ready for a night filled with inspiration. Probably not for me, but everyone else in the room. Celebration and a whole lot of fun. Thank you for all being here, and let's kick things off. Once again, welcome to the 2024 Wood Buffalo Multisport Awards Banquet. Woo! It's my pleasure to invite Mayor Bowman to the stage, who will share a few words with us. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Bowman.
Thanks, Mike. Let's hear a round of applause for Mike. His great MC prowess tonight. Good work, Mike. And thank you, everyone. On behalf of myself and council, we're pleasure to be here this evening. And thank you to Wood Buffalo Sports Connection, as well as Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame for the invitation to be here to say a few words. And it's great to be, as Mike said, with a lot of friends, familiar faces, and legends in sport here tonight. So on behalf of council, everyone calls this place home. Welcome everyone to tonight's celebrations. And you know, every weekend here in Fort McMurray is usually a big weekend for sports. But this weekend in particular, we have the Oilers Foundation here with us. And if you were at the game this afternoon, you would have seen myself and Mr. Boucher's coaching prowess as the Edmonton Oilers defeated the Vancouver Canucks 10-1. And you would have seen Keegan Pruden's silky mitts around the net. So great work, Keegan. Yes. And everyone knows that sports, recreation, and what that does for community has always been a major part of who we are here in Fort McMurray. And it's been an important part of my own journey myself. Standing here alongside Bob Campbell, Darren Gibbs, Wayne Bork back in 2012, I still remain truly humbled and honored to be a part of that 2012 Hall of Fame inductee group. And I thank Curtis for nominating me and bringing me on board there. In sports here, we don't do it for the recognition, but what I've learned over the years that it's important sometimes stop and say thank you and look back on the success you've had over your careers, whether it's professional, amateur, or it's just out for having fun. And tonight we stand along these local legends, giants, and people that have given so much for sports, athletics, and recreation, and as builders in our community. And to throw back as my past life as a fighter, you might say that Fort McMurray has always punched above their weight, and the people in this room have always been in the community's corner. So as a wrap up, I want to thank everyone with Wood Buffalo Sports Connection and the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame, to all the sponsors again for holding this event tonight. We appreciate your efforts, your commitment, and your dedication. And finally, I want to give a special shout out to the man himself, the legend, Mr. Curtis J. Phillips. Curtis, as this event has changed over the years, you'll always be remembered as the founding father of this event. And the community is forever grateful for all the work you do and all the volunteerism you put in just to make these things happen. So again, congratulations to you, sir. And again, congrats again for your induction for the ACAC Sports Hall of Fame this year, Curtis. It's a well-deserved honor, and the community appreciates you. And finally, all the nominees, inductees, and eventual award winners tonight, congratulations, way to go. We appreciate you in Fort McMurray and wish everyone the best of luck tonight, and hope everyone has a great evening at the 2024 Multi-Sports Award Banquet tonight.
That's it. Well, thank you, Mayor Bowman, reminding me that I am average height, 5'10", but you were much higher above the microphone. Let's give Mayor Bowman another big round of applause. Next up, please help me to welcome John Turner, Chair of the Wood Buffalo Sports Connection. John's leadership and dedication play a crucial role in Wood Buffalo Sport Connection's success. Following John, we have Matt Pate, my president of the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame, and Matt's commitment to honoring our sports heritage is truly inspiring. Thank you both for your hard work on helping to bring this event together and for our sport community. Let's give them a big round of applause. First, we have John coming up.
All right, I prepared something this year, which is a little better than last year. So thanks everyone for coming. As chair of the Wood Buffalo Sport Connection, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to each of you for your support this evening. This event wouldn't be possible without everyone in this room, our sponsors, nominees, promoters, inductees, event staff, volunteers, and attendees. A special thank you to the Wood Buffalo Sport Hall of Fame for their hard work, and the Wood Buffalo Sport Connection staff for planning and delivering this event. Please join me in a round of applause for their amazing efforts. We are so blessed to be here tonight in this impressive recreational facility celebrating our second annual Multi-Sport Award Banquet. Having lived in this community for over 20 years, I take pride in calling Fort McMurray home. This region hosts numerous extraordinary sporting events, including the Western Canadian Baseball League Fort McMurray Giants, the Alberta Junior Hockey League Fort McMurray Oil Barons, and the Canadian Colleges Athletic Conference Keano College Huskies, amongst a lot of others. I encourage all of you to attend a game or two. I find in our busy lives we often overlook the incredible sporting events our community offers each week. If we take one thing from this message tonight, let it be this: get out and support our local sports organizations, whether as a spectator, coach, athlete, or official. We particularly could use more officials right now. I would like to conclude by conveying our mission from the Wood Buffalo Sport Connection, and it's to enhance, unite, and celebrate community through sport. So I ask you, do you think we are enhancing, uniting, celebrating community through sport tonight, folks? Yeah? I'd like to congratulate our nominees and our inductees, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their evening. Thank you so much.
What a great event that we have. There's a lot of thanks going around, countless hours put in to make this event happen. And somebody that I'd like to point out in particular, Carly Anderson, just really went above and beyond putting this event together and just really did a fantastic job. So thank you very much, Carly. This is the second multi-sport award banquet put on in just as many years. And this is a joint collaboration between the Wood Buffalo Sport Connect and the Wood Buffalo Sport Hall of Fame. And the fact that we were able to come together the way that we did and revitalize this event, I'm looking forward to seeing this happen for many years to come. So my name is Matt Pate, president of the Wood Buffalo Sport Hall of Fame, as already mentioned. I'm very proud and honored to be able to present to you the class of 2024 to the Wood Buffalo Sport Hall of Fame. Tonight is about celebrating the past and the present while we look to the future. Because if you know where you come from, it's pretty clear to see where you're heading. And I can say that the future is looking very bright for the region of Fort McMurray Wood Buffalo. Our inductees have owned their skills and competed at the highest level. This serves to inspire the next generation. It is no accident that it's no accident that this small town in the middle of the northern boreal forest is a force of nature when it comes to competing in the world of sport. So tonight we get to share stories so that you can find inspiration and pride in our rich sport heritage. So we welcome you to the 2024 Multi-Sport Award Banquet. We are honored to have our inductees and their families here with us tonight. And I hope you all enjoy the evening. Thank you very much.
Let's give John and Matt another round of applause. We're going to clap a lot tonight. Just so you are aware, I didn't charge an appearance fee tonight, so if you have any complaints, make sure you send them to Matt's way. He's the president, I'm just the vice president. Don't hold back. All right, now we're going to move on to the live auction. We're going to talk and tell you a little bit about this, and it's a big part of our night. So, right now on Facebook, we will be taking final bids right before intermission. So be sure to pop over to the Wood Buffalo Sport Connection Facebook page to place your bid. We have an incredible package up for grabs. An open water fishing with two-time Oilers Stanley Cup and my good friend champion, Marty McSorley. I don't know why you're laughing. This package, valued at $2,000, will get you and a friend out on the boat on October 7th with River's Edge Anglers and Marty for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And it's supposed to be really nice out that day. So please don't be shy, go on. It's all for a good cause. And I know Marty well. You'll have a great time. The auction is currently live and will be closing comments right before intermission. The auction rules: you must comment on the original post. Okay, comments on shared posts will not be considered. Your comment indicates your commitment to fulfilling your bid amount if you win. As the bidding slows, we'll announce going once, going twice, to give everyone a chance to up their bids, which we hope. And once a WBSC employee comments sold, the bidding is over, and any comments posted after will not be eligible. The auction is generously donated by River's Edge Anglers and Marty McSorley to help raise funds for our sports community. So please go on and make a pledge. Now, the moment everybody's been waiting for. So we're going to start out with an induction. I just want to let the inductees know that after your video, please come unveil your plaque, which is behind me, and where WBSHF executive will be standing, and then to the podium to speak for your speech. Afterwards, a quick photo of your frame photo and ring presentation from WBSHF, President Matt Pate, and a founding father of the WBSHF, and our historian, Curtis J. Phillips. Right, now we're excited to move on to our first inductee into the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. Let's watch this video together as we celebrate their remarkable accomplishments.
Born in 1977 in Fort McMurray, Alberta, Trish Leibel had a late start in her chosen sport of wrestling. She didn't start wrestling until her grade 11 year at Father Patrick Mercredi. For grade 12, she moved to Calgary to train with the University of Calgary Wrestling Club, where she won the 1995 Alberta Schools Athletic Association banner in the 61-kilogram class. From 1995 to 2000, she would wrestle to 3 U-Sport gold in her respective weight classes for the Calgary Dinos. She won a gold medal at the 1998 Pan American Wrestling Championships in Winnipeg, Manitoba, as well as a bronze medal match that same year at the World Wrestling Championships in Poland. In 2000, Leibel was honored with the Outstanding Canadian Female Wrestler at the Canada Cup, and in 2001, another National Wrestling Gold while representing Thunder Bay's Thunderwolves Club. The Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame welcomes inductee Trish Leibel.
All right, you guys gave me a mic. Better start that timer because I do love a spotlight. So when Curtis called to share the kind news about this honor, I was kind of led down a path of reflection, as you could see from the video. I'm not exactly that young anymore. My first thought was kind of considering the era of sport that my career existed. So there was not yet like the internet or the social media that broadcasted it. Although you did find one of the worst pictures of me from the Titan Games. But so I felt a little dated because my career was in a shoebox. So I kind of had to go down and dust it off. And once I opened it up, I was like, oh, okay, well, the 25-year-old Trish, she was pretty fit and doing pretty good, so let's celebrate her. Seeing all those memories and medals and trophies, I wondered what Trishisms I could share with you today as we all are here to celebrate the greatness that sport provides us. My love for sport started pretty early on. You could say I was born with just that pure love. So I loved volleyball to basketball, it was softball to hockey, mountain biking, snowshoe biathlon, even 1-foot high kick in the Arctic Winter Games. But as the video said, I didn't find wrestling till grade 11, and that was my true fit. It was the thrill of combative sport, the action-reaction chess match, it was like that 1v1 battle that you found on the mat, yet you were always depending on your teammates to build you up. And then there's this like physical component that after a hard-fought tournament, every part of your body was reminding you that you existed. So it was kind of the most alive you could feel. So that got me thinking. So I definitely had the passion, but what made this Fort McMurrayite successful? Well, Fort McMurray did provide me with some adversity. So there was the form of weather. So I do remember a few times I would wake up and realize I didn't plug in my car, and I was in for a bit of a run from Hospital Street up to Father Merck at -30, or I could face the wrath of my iron fist father. So I did enjoy a couple excellent winter runs. But joking aside, Fort McMurray gave me a real big gift, the expectation of support. So with that, I pretty much embedded that into my life. And the sport from Fort McMurray, it was fostered by all the opportunities presented. We sometimes consider us remote, but the city, it gave me everything I needed. So my first wrestling coach, Jeff Collins, never once saw me as the only girl on the wrestling mat. He always saw me as 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, and maybe a whole lot of potential. My team, they pushed me hard. They made me so much better. And sometimes those boys, they were voluntold that they had to be my exhibition matches when I didn't have enough opponents at the tournaments. So on the wrestling mat, I truly learned that Fort McMurray is a city of pure salt of the earth, people willing to support and care. And it was that philosophy that I took with me when I carried on my journey my world team journey. So my sport career owes so many thank yous to so many people. The greatness of my cup just overflows. But I wanted to say thank you for this honor, and thank you for recognizing all the hard work and the support that made it a success. And of course, I always like to say I love you, family.
Each inductee into the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame will get a printed picture signed by Kelvin Sawatsky. Kelvin Sawatsky, an amazing painter in our community for over 40 years, and he's been with the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame since its inception in 2007. So each inductee in the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame will get a ring and also the montage of the picture you see in front of me.
Well, I'm looking around the room and I see a lot of young, some high school students, and that's a lot of good feedback from a wonderful athlete. So thank you for those wonderful words. Next up, we're going to learn about the artists. So for tonight's awards, Wood Buffalo Sport Connection put on a call for artisans, and we are thrilled to showcase the work of Rhonda Robinson. Rhonda chose to work with buffalo hide, a symbol of strength, power, and resilience. Qualities needed in both sport and life. And like a buffalo herd, sport teams thrive in community. working together and giving their hearts to the effort. As a former hockey and soccer mom, Rhonda understands the dedication required from athletes and families. And when she saw the call for the artists, she knew she could create something that truly embodies the heart of both. Please join me in thanking Rhonda for her incredible contribution and the beautiful awards we'll be presenting tonight.
Wood Buffalo Sports Connection Multi-Sports Awards Artist Design, Rhonda Robinson.
Rhonda Robinson is a local Métis woman and artisan maker who spends her spare time beading and creating various items. She loves working with buffalo hide as a way to connect to the creator, herself, others, and ancestors.
Fort McMurray has been home for 8 years, and Rhonda loves living here. When she started her small business, Spirit Creative Limited, offering many cultural experiences to the community. Rhonda chose to work with buffalo hides as the buffalo has great significance to the Métis people. Buffalo provided everything the people needed, from food to clothing to needles to bead with. All parts of the buffalo were used. Nothing was wasted. They gave their hearts to the Métis people and still continue to provide sustenance today.
Whether using the outline of the buffalo itself or the shapes of a heart, its strength and power will be felt to those receiving it. The buffalo comes with great respect, power, and resilience, which is required by those involved in sports. Buffalo live in herds, which is similar to what sport team communities do coming together. They all contribute their hearts fully.
Thank you for your contributions, Rhonda Robinson.
I would like to say that I'm very thankful that I'm a physical education teacher and not an art teacher, so fantastic, Rhonda, well done. I could not do that. All right, now we're going to move in to our multi-sport awards. The first multi-sport award we'll be presenting tonight is the Unsung Hero Award. This award recognizes the achievements and outstanding contributions made by a volunteer to their community, a specific sport activity, club, team, or group. These individuals have made a positive difference in the lives of others through their sport and encouragement, often with self-sacrifice and without seeking personal gain. Before we get to the video, these recipients, one of them actually coached me when I was 10 years old, 11 years old, so things come full circle. I just wanted to bring that up. I almost shed a tear. Now we're going to show the video. Thank you.
Wood Buffalo Sports Connection Multi-Sports Award winner for Unsung Hero, Frank and Tiffany Fontaine.
This couple gives so much to the youth soccer program in Fort McMurray. They coach a variety of teams within the organization and dedicate numerous hours to helping kids improve their soccer and life skills, and you would never know because they do it all for the kids.
They had coached teams on both the national and international stages, where Frank's team won gold at the Arctic Winter Games, Tiffany's team won silver at the Arctic Winter Games, and Tiffany's team went to Sweden to compete at a soccer competition. They also had teams competing in the Alberta Summer Games and Provincials.
Frank creates a team atmosphere that is inviting, fun, funny, and keeps kids coming back. Tiffany has devoted herself to nurturing and developing young athletes. Her coaching has led many talented girls to pursue soccer at a college or university level.
Congratulations, Frank and Tiffany Fontaine.
Fontaine, let's give them a warm round of applause as they make their way to the stage. And Frankie, I hope I didn't make you feel old.
We didn't prepare a long speech for this tonight. We were only warned last night that we would actually be speaking. So first, thank you all, Fort McMurray. This is full circle. I keep hearing people say what an honor it is, I I guess sport does for you, and it changes lives. For us, that's exactly what it does. It changed my life because of all the people from Fort McMurray. My story goes back to when I was 11 years old and coaches from here. So to see all these wonderful people and to know that we've made a difference and that we were actually acknowledged was very meaningful and humbling. So thank you very much for the recognition.
Now I feel a little taller. Little taller. And now we're moving on to our second multi-sport award for the night. It's time to recognize our male athlete of the year, an individual who has demonstrated outstanding performance, dedication, and leadership in their sport. Let's take a moment to watch the video highlighting his incredible achievements over the past year.
Wood Buffalo Sports Connection Multi-Sports Awards winner for Male Athlete of the Year, Tayden Schott.
Tayden Schott of Fort McKay, Alberta, has made a remarkable impact both in sports and academics. He showcased his archery skills by winning a gold medal in the 3D Archery Compound 16 under male class at the 2023 North American Indigenous Games held in Nova Scotia.
This achievement follows his prior successes, including a gold medal at the 2022 Alberta Indigenous Games and a bronze medal at the Alberta 3D Target Provincial Competition in the same year. Tayden has also been recognized for his academic achievements.
In 2021, he was one of only 12 students across Alberta to receive the Honoring Spirit Indigenous Student Awards. These awards celebrate the dedication and resilience of First Nation, Métis, and Inuit students who strive for educational excellence while honoring their cultural identities and talents.
Congratulations, Tayden Schott.
Thank you.
You do have a purpose. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm okay. There's a lot of people here tonight. Thank you for having me tonight. And those are some horrible pictures of me. Whew. Yeah, thank you for having me tonight. I'm very honored. I want to thank you for the person that nominated me. I'm supposed to be hunting, well, not hunting right now, but in the bush. Right after this, I'm going to go back. Yeah, thank you.
Very good now. Thank you.
All right, moving along. Our next award is for the official of the year. As when I played sports when I was younger, and Frankie can attest to this, I didn't really get along with officials at all, but it makes me a better teacher and coach now, so I really appreciate this award. We're recognizing someone who exemplifies fairness, integrity, and dedication in officiating. Tonight's recipient has made an incredible impact on the world of sports, and let's take a moment to watch a video highlighting their journey.
Wood Buffalo Sports Connection Multi-Sports Award winner for Official of the Year, Darren Yee.
At the age of 17 at the 2004 Fort McMurray Arctic Winter Games, Darren became a certified regional umpire for Badminton, Alberta. Since then, he has made significant strides in his officiating career, achieving the classification of Pan American Certified Umpire, a distinction held by only 14 umpires in Canada.
In addition to this prestigious role, he serves as the Zone 7 Director for Badminton, Alberta. Notably, his mother, Juliana Yee, is also a certified national badminton official, further highlighting a family commitment to the sport. Their dedication to badminton not only showcases their individual talents, but also contributes to the growth and promotion of the sport within our community.
3 major tournaments in 2023 were the 2023 Canada Winter Games in PEI, the 2023 Yonex Canada Open in Calgary, and the 2023 Pan American Games in Santiago, Chile.
Congratulations, Darren Yee!
While Darren Yee, our official of the year, can't be with us tonight because he is currently officiating at a junior national badminton tournament in Calgary, he has shared a few words for this special occasion. I am deeply honored to receive the 2024 Wood Buffalo Multisport Official of the Year Award. I am sorry I can't be there in person tonight as I am currently officiating at a national tournament in Calgary. This recognition means a great deal to me, and I would like to thank the Wood Buffalo Sports Connection and Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame for recognizing sports officials. I began my badminton umpiring career at the 2004 Arctic Winter Games in Fort McMurray. I did this as a way to be involved with the games and found that I really enjoyed umpiring. Since then, I've progressed to become an international Pan Am certified umpire, and I was selected as the Canadian umpire at the 2023 Pan Am Games in Santiago, Chile. Wood Buffalo offers many opportunities to get involved in sport in various roles. Being passionate about badminton, I've had the chance to serve as a coach, technical official, and sports chair. I highly encourage everyone to consider officiating as it provides a unique perspective, exposure, and opportunities in the sport we all love. Thank you very much. Darren Yee. I almost felt like I won an award. Maybe next time. All right, moving on. The next multi-sport award is Inclusive Athlete of the Year. Our next award is an award that recognizes and celebrates an athlete who exemplifies outstanding dedication, perseverance, and sportsmanship while overcoming physical, intellectual, or developmental challenges. It honors not only their achievements in sport, but also their inspiring contributions to promoting inclusivity and diversity within the athletic community. Let's take a moment to watch a video that highlights this incredible athlete.
Wood Buffalo Sports Connection Multi-Sports Awards winner for Inclusive Athlete of the Year, Dow Dow.
Dow Dow, better known as King Dow, is an Alberta track and field provincial record holder in shot put, a testament to his power and dedication in the sport. He has also earned numerous medals at the ASAA Track Provincials, showcasing his athletic prowess on the provincial stage. In what was a banner year, Dow not only excelled in track, but also competed at provincials for football.
His remarkable performance even led to a viral video on Max Preps, amassing over 1 million views. Beyond the field and the track, Dow was a key member of his school's basketball team, proving his versatility as an athlete.
As an ambassador for Father Mercury High School, Dow exemplifies leadership, commitment, and excellence. His contributions to both his school and the wider community are truly commendable.
It's with my great honor to announce that the Inclusive Athlete of the Year award goes to a former student of mine, Dow Dow.
First and foremost, I would like to thank the Wood Buffalo Sports and Sports Connection for nominating me and recognizing me. Also, I would like to thank my coaches, and I would also thank my family as well. Again, thank you.
Another big round of applause for Dao Dao. Very proud moment. Good job, bud. All right. How's everybody doing? We good? Enjoying the night? Are we enjoying it? Yeah? Keep moving. Okay, I'll keep moving. All right, we're on to our second induction of the evening into the Wood Buffalo Sport Hall of Fame. Please join me as we watch a video that pays tribute to an exceptional athlete and trailblazer in the sport of boxing.
Born in 1960, Danny Lindstrom began training at the age of 10 and quickly made a name for himself in the amateur boxing circuit, earning a record of 76 wins and 4 losses while fighting out of the Clearwater Boxing Club. He won numerous titles, including 3-time Canadian champion, 3-time Alberta Golden Gloves champion, and 3-time provincial champion. He was also ranked as high as number 6 in the world in the light heavyweight division. As a professional, Lindstrom held both the Canadian lightweight and heavyweight titles, making him the only man to achieve this feat. One of Lindstrom's most notable fights was the Rumble Under the Dome against WBO light heavyweight champion Michael Moorer in 1990. Lindstrom made history by being the first Indigenous person and Albertan to fight for a light heavyweight world title. Despite his passing in 2018, Lindstrom's legacy lives on to the sport of boxing and his impact in the Indigenous community as well. The Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame welcomes inductee Danny Lindstrom.
What an inspiring tribute to a remarkable individual. It is my great honor to announce that the second inductee into the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame is Danny Lindstrom. Please join me in welcoming Danny Lindstrom's family to the stage to accept this prestigious honor on his behalf.
I'm Danny's daughter, so this is a huge honor. I did write something, but I'm going to try to look at it, but this is honestly, like, amazing. But yeah, our family is here as well. We're from 468 Anzac, so super, super honored. And anyways, I guess I kind of covered that first part. My dad was only a champion in the ring, but he was also a champion for our community, for 468 and for Fort McMurray. He made huge acclimates that just made so many people proud. When he went pro, I guess that was like a year after I was born, he chose to fight under his Cree name, which was Stonewalker. And I really feel like that's a testament to who he was, that strength, that endurance, and also his bullheadedness. Sorry, thank you so much. But also, I'd like to say that with his victories, they weren't just for him, but they were for the community, for our family, and for Fort McMurray as well, and 468. I feel like he stood tall, but when he won, so did everyone else. Side note, when he was ill towards the end, he had dementia, by the way, I would read him all the clippings that he would save, and when I would read them, he would light up. And he was just so proud of his boxing career, proud of who he was as an Indigenous individual, as well as where he came from. There's probably other things on here, so I'll see. Oh yeah, so I just like to say that the talking about his career and his stories and keeping all of that alive is just like it really keeps that legacy alive, which is so important to me and our family and our community. So I just really want to thank you for that. I'm actually not going to look at that anymore, so thank you. From everyone in our family and whatnot, like, I appreciate you giving this award to my father, and it means the world. So, hi.
Again, congratulations to Danny Lindstrom, family, as a 2024 inductee. Your legacy will continue to inspire for many years to come. So another round of applause for Danny Lindstrom. Well, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an exciting highlight of the evening. I made a few phone calls, got a few of my friends here. They don't know that yet, but we're working on it. But we're thrilled to have two incredible hockey legends in the house tonight, Marty McSorley and Joel Otto. Marty McSorley is best known for his time with the Edmonton Oilers, where he was a part of the legendary team that won 2 Stanley Cups in the 1980s, alongside with someone, he's not quite my friend, but maybe we're close, Wayne Gretzky. Just tell him to call me, okay? A formidable defenseman, Marty's grit and toughness on the ice made him a fan favorite and an essential player during his 17-season NHL career. Let's clap it up for that. 17 seasons. His leadership and skill not only contributed to the championship teams, but also left a lasting impact on the game. And let's not forget about Joel Otto. A key player for the Calgary Flames, Joel was a versatile center known for his incredible two-way play. He played an instrumental role in the Flames' 1989 Stanley Cup victory and was recognized for his strong presence on the ice, as well as his ability to score important goals when it mattered most. With his exceptional work ethic and sportsmanship, Joel has inspired countless young athletes, and even a Calgary fan right over here. We are so pleased to welcome both of these hockey icons as part of our entertainment for a special Stove Talk session. Get ready for some unforgettable stories, insights, and a few laughs as we dive into the world. I said as we, because I'm going to be up here too. As we dive into the world of hockey with Marty McSorley and Joel Otto. So, without further ado, we have Joel Otto. And Marty McSorley, and they're going to say a few words at the start.
Well, first of all, Michael, don't screw this up, okay? He's going to be our MC. He's got the questions. I was going to wear a suit tonight, but the last time I wore a suit, I was in Vancouver. Or I went, when I was playing in LA, I'd wear a suit into Edmonton. We'd play against the Oilers, and the game would end. I wasn't always loved anymore in Edmonton when I was playing in LA coming in. And the one night, I go into after the game, I shower, I go to where my suit is, and my one shoe is nailed through the shelf at the top, and my suit coat and my pants are full of shaving cream. So somebody had snuck in the locker room and sabotaged my clothes, so I figured I better not wear a suit coming to Northern Alberta. But first thing, Joel, I'd like to do is I'd like to really congratulate all the award winners tonight. That is tremendously awesome. It's one thing to get awards, but to get awards in your hometown, where you grew up, where your family is really special. And so I want to congratulate everybody that got awards. It's a great, great honor, something that you'll always remember.
Absolutely. Very reminiscent to how we probably grew up. I'm from Minnesota, Marty out in Ontario, and just the way that everyone has talked about their community and standing beside each other, and what a great atmosphere, what a beautiful building you have here. Kudos to the town of Fort McMurray. You've got a good thing going here, so great job.
To invite us up to your sports awards dinner with so many great sponsors, David, Dale, Colin, so many people that I've gotten to know over the years and really love to come up to Fort Mac or to associate with the people in Fort Mac. To all the volunteers that coach, that make a difference, people that volunteer their time in committees, raise your hands. Everybody that volunteers, that coaches, you are molding young minds. You are making the future of your town. And we go back. We have the pleasure of going all into all of these towns to help. And maybe it's MRI machines or CAT scan machines. And you see the people that put their heart and soul in their hometowns. And I love it. So congratulations. Kudos to everybody. And let's continue to have a great, great night.
All right. I'm over here. So I'm just going to put this out there first. I'm going to save Marty. If there is any grammatical errors, please remember to email Matt Pate. He's the president. There you go, Marty. I saved you. So first question, where did each of you grow up? And speak a little bit about your background in your small town.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Marty for the invite and everyone coming up here. I feel kind of like a sacrificial lamb, though. There's quite an Oiler contingent, I believe, up here in Fort McMurray. I see a few Flames fans.
Well, you got one guy that found a jersey somewhere.
I already gave him a hug, so I'm excited to certainly see that. I know you're all passionate Oiler fans, and they've had a great year. But yeah, I don't know if anybody knows. I'm from Minnesota originally. I grew up in a small town outside Minneapolis. Hockey was just starting to kind of grow in the state, other than the Iron Range up north and inner city. My dad was a volunteer on the JCs local, and they were starting up a hockey program in a small town of Elk River. And I was 6 years old, and he said, "You're going to go try. I can't not have you go try because I'm part of this thing." I didn't want to go, kicking and screaming, and lo and behold, I couldn't take the skates off. I froze my feet for the next 12 years on an outdoor rink and loved hockey ever since.
What about your family? How many brothers? Sisters?
I am the oldest of four boys, 6 years apart, so outside constantly playing. There was never inside time other than after we'd fight, we'd go back in the house, be mad at each other. All of a sudden, you want to go back out and do it again? And we'd go out and do it again. So it was constant playing, constant roughhousing, constant sports all the time. But I grew up in an era that, I was lucky enough to be able to play different sports. I know that's probably not the case now, and I get it. But I was able to enjoy things. Hockey didn't start till November. I was excited to play. I was excited to put on the skates, and we were done by March. And now it was a new adventure, whether it was baseball or golf, and something in the summer and something in the fall, and then hockey came again. Oh boy, it's great to get back on the ice again. And I think that was important to become an athlete and a person, and to understand and become a teammate from everybody. But the biggest, we had the North Stars. We didn't have CBC where I was, so I didn't get Hockey Night in Canada like everybody in Canada, and didn't get to go to North Star games. But our biggest thrill would have been to play in the state high school hockey tournament, which I never got to. But that's our goal. Maybe going to college, University of Minnesota or Duluth or North Dakota. It wasn't the NHL. So I was fortunate enough to live by a rink, go over there when I wanted to, which helped. I do remember getting a Canadiens jersey when I was a kid for Christmas and going out, and I'm kicking myself now that I was a Canadiens fan. My dad was a Canadiens fan, and I don't like the Canadiens anymore, but almost as bad as the Oilers, but no, just kidding. But being able to participate and play other sports was a big thing for me, and it was important to our community. Was very supportive of everybody being able to do that. So
Perfect. I grew up on a farm of 10 kids. I got my ass kicked a lot when I was a kid. The oldest was a girl, 7 boys in a row. I think Barry Stafford, the trainer, saw a few of my brothers come through the locker room. And little small town of Cayuga, Ontario, which was 25 miles south of Brantford. And I still tease Gretz that I played a game right before him when he was 12 years old. And Walter actually had the big camera and filmed it. And I said, Gretz, I outscored you that night. And he said, that's not getting you anywhere, kid. But, so with the family farm, small town of 1,000 people, the rink was the center of the community. It was where everybody would go and gather, and where older people would go to see everybody and get out for a night. And the ballpark was the same thing. And it was a wonderful place to grow up and create memories. Michael, where are you?
I'm over here. Fantastic. Family. It's funny, I went woohoo for the Canadians. I grew up, Joel, I'm the youngest of 4. 3 of us played hockey, and they're all Toronto Maple Leaf fans. I'm the only Montreal Canadiens fan, unfortunately. Is there any family stories that you both can share with us tonight?
Marty probably has the family stories, 10. Mine were just, I was the first of a very small line of hockey players. My dad and my mother's side of the family, they were all basketball. It was kind of a new sport to us, autos. I had one other brother that did play hockey, but most of them played football. So there was diverse in other areas. So I didn't, and I was 3 years older than the next one. So I was kind of separated from the other 3. I was the abuser, obviously the oldest, that got to do all the stuff and maybe the bully, but it was constant playing. But a family of 10, that's a little bit different than family of 4.
Well, I think I had 3 brothers that played Canadian University and 2 brothers that played minor pro. We would sneak into the arena in my hometown on Christmas Day. And we would go through the minor hockey room, we'd go in there, we'd find a way to turn the lights on, and we'd play all afternoon. Well, the town kids would come and bang on the door, we'd let them in, but they didn't like to stay for very long because things would get rough. And at one point, Christmas Day ended, Boxing Day, and we're sitting there having breakfast, getting ready to go to the barns to work, and we looked at each other, and I'm like, oh boy, because there's bandages and flies, and the phone rang, and my mom answered the phone. And she said, yes, just a second, Jerry. And she turned to us, mad as hell. That's Jerry, the rink manager. There's blood on the ice and blood in the penalty box, so wants to know if he's supposed to call the cops. And my oldest brother looked at my mom and said, tell him it was just us. So that's kind of how I grew up. Now, my grandfather there was an old poet in my hometown. His name was Doug Murray, if you ever look at some of his poems. And Doug Murray he was famous across Canada. And Doug Murray used to write about my grandfather every now and then. He'd say the whole town of Cayuga went to a playoff game for the senior team. And if there was ever a fire in town, there'd be nobody to put it out. He said, we don't know if they're there to go watch the hockey game or to go watch Box McSorley fight. And that was my grandfather. And he also told a story about when my grandfather, he says, I saw the darndest thing. He said there was a fight after school between 2 school kids. He said it took place in the livery stables with horsewhips. And it was my grandfather. So that's kind of how I was raised of that mindset. So when I got to the NHL...
You're a natural.
Well, when I got to the NHL, I showed up at the OHL, and Walter Gretzky's best friend, John Mowat, was one of the scouts for the Belleville Bulls, and I was just invited. And John came in and said, Marty, they need somebody to look after all these guys. I said, gotcha, John. So I went out. I think I had 3 fights in the morning. Afternoon, I had another fight. The next day, I'm having trouble finding people who want to fight. And then, right? And one of the kids says, aren't you tired of fighting? I said, I got news for you. Fighting you guys is easy. I go home, I get my ass kicked. Mike, what you got?
Fantastic. When or at what moment did each of you know you had made it to the NHL? What was that moment?
Well, my moment or my road to there, I want to go back a little bit further than that. Like I'm the guy that was in the right place at the right time just about everywhere I went. I'm very fortunate. I walked on to a small school in Minnesota, Bemidji State. I don't know if you've heard of it. Back in the day, it was NAIA when I played the first couple years, and then NCAA Division II, III, so very small. We had good teams. I went up in the summer with my parents. Tried out with the coach during his summer hockey camp. He had me go out on the ice with no pads, and I have skinny legs. I get teased about my legs all the time as I was a pro. You should have seen him when I was a high school senior. And he likes to joke around and tell the story that I look like a newborn calf out there doing all the drills with the kids. And my journey was, just do the right thing and become a man. When I went to Bemidji, I had a coach named Bob Peters. 4 years there. I didn't turn pro till I was 23 almost. That's another thing that I don't think a lot of kids get to do anymore. They don't get to mature. They have to decide what they want to do when they're 14, 15, 16 years old, and that's, not very fair. I'm a late bloomer. I got to be able to leave home when I was going to college, which wasn't that far, but 18, and turn pro and leave Minnesota, not until I was 22, 23. So my journey was fortunate. I was able to grow as a person through my college years and be able to handle things before I turned pro. And I mean, you had fed to the fire when you were 15, 16 years old, it sounds like.
Well, I was 14 years old playing junior D with one of my older brothers who would piss everybody off. And so now I have to fight because he's getting in trouble and he's got a number of people trying to fight him. I'm 14 years old. He's fighting a kid from Six Nations Indian Reservation. And I go in, there's a big guy come up behind him, 20 years old, and I'm 14. Moose Anderson grabs the back of my brother's jersey. I go up and I go to push Moose. And the next thing I know, I'm off the ice, up the stairs in the locker room. Moose hit me so hard and knocked me flat out cold, right? And I'm like, okay, all right, fine, better keep your head up. Well, but as I got older and I went in to the OHL, and you work hard, right? And you play, and I played in the All-Star game my first year, or my second year. I got an invite to Pittsburgh, and I got the invite to Pittsburgh, and they signed me to a contract without fighting, and I was really proud of that. So the next year, I go to Pittsburgh and I want to make the hockey team. I'm 20 years old and I go to training camp and I'm wearing number 78. And I'm like, this is not good. So I'm just praying that they put me into an exhibition game. They put me into an exhibition game and they kept talking about this guy in Washington that scared the bejesus out of them, Scott Stevens. Yeah. So first exhibition game, first chance I got, I go up against Scott Stevens. The next day I walk in the locker room and number 4 is hanging in my stall. So it was a vehicle for me to get to play. But, you don't know that you've actually made it. Being in the NHL doesn't necessarily mean you're an NHL player. You got your foot on a banana peel a lot. The median career in the NHL is less than 1 year. 50% of the guys that play in the NHL do not play more than a year. So you want to be an everyday player. When I knew I arrived in the NHL was not till I think my 3rd year. Hey Barry, I'm in Edmonton, and Glenn Saylor, who was really good to me. I was on the bench one night, and Gerard Gallant was really hard on Yari Curry, and his line was they were hard on Wayne and Yari. So at one point, I stood up on the bench and I yelled, "Yari, get off!" And I remember the bench kind of looking at me, and Yari comes, and I jump on the ice, and I skate right up to Gerard Gallant. I put my stick into his ribs, and he turns and looks at me and goes, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I've come to kill you." And he goes, "Oh, no, you're not." I said, "Oh, yes, I will. And I can get to you anytime I want." And I followed him right to his bench, and I swung right by the Edmonton bench. I yelled, "Yari!"
He did this all the time. I don't know
Yari
if you
jumped
knew
back
this.
on the ice, and I got off the ice. I was on the ice maybe 15 seconds. And I remember I just looked down the bench, and the guys were smiling. They thought that was the best thing in the world. But I let Detroit know, leave our guys alone, or I'm going to come in, I'm going to do something about it. Well, Slats saw that, and he just left me alone. It was about, 2 or 3 months later, I felt like I had been playing well. Hartford came into town, and Hartford was a bad hockey team at that time. They didn't have any tough guys. So Slats, Barry, would come out of his little coaching room, and he'd look at the locker room because they dressed 2 or 3 extra guys for warm-ups, and Barry would look at the kid and he'd go like this, and the kid would put his head down, take his gear off, he's not dressing. So I'm sitting there, and Mike Kruslinski goes, "Hey," he's sitting next to me. I said, "What?" He goes, "Look." I look, and Barry looks at me, and he goes like this. And I stood up, and I said, "No." And he goes, points to the coach's room. I said, "No." And now I'm mad. So I'm like pissed off. So I'm thinking for a second. I start walking to the coach's room. And really wisely, I heard, "Hey." And I looked over, and it was Mess. Looking at me, he goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "In there." "Are you sure about that?" And I paused for a second, and I said, "Yes." But it was just enough. So I went and I knocked on the door. Coach said, "Come in." So I walked in. It was just before we all go out for the start of the game. They said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want to know why I'm not playing." John Muckler says, "You're not playing because we told you." Slats put his hand on John Muckler's arm, and he goes, "Why? Do you think you should be playing?" I said, "Yes, that's my team. I look after those guys. If I'm not an everyday player, I can't be a leader in my own way." I said, I'm their guy. And I said, "But I need to be an everyday player." Glenn Saylor looks at me and goes, "You're right. It won't happen again as long as you uphold your end of the bargain." And basically he was saying, "Okay, I take that responsibility, I'll do it." It was a deal that Glenn and I had made because I stood up and said, "No, I'm willing to take responsibility." At that point, I knew...
The rest of us paid for it.
I made it, well, but, yeah, but it would, I think that guys like Proby and that, they made the game better all the way around, right?
Oh, yeah.
Michael, next question.
No, to answer his, I was...
Sorry.
No, that's all right. When did I know that I had made it? I don't know if I ever did. Went to Moncton my first year, which I needed to because I played 31 games at college. And trying to become a pro, I didn't know what the pro life was all about. And first time on an airplane and all that stuff. And we're going to 80 games. Unfortunately, playing Nova Scotia, I was in Moncton, and we were the Golden Flames, and Nova Scotia, the Oilers. I think we played 6 exhibition games and then another 12 or 14 regular season games because we only had 13 teams in the league. So you certainly got tired of these guys. But I got called up in February my first year and played the last 12 games, played in the playoffs, and then started the next year, which was 85-86, was a incredibly pivotal year for the Calgary Flames because we had a successful year as it turned out. But things didn't kind of start that way or go that way during the season. I started to play. I didn't score. I scored 1 goal for the first 25 games. And we had a coach named Bob Johnson. I don't know if anybody remembers that name. He was a college coach. And he kept sticking by me. He thought I was going to be the next Tim Kerr for some reason, which never happened. He kept me in key situations. I got to take face-offs. I took a face-off against Peter Stastny. We're holding the lead in Calgary against the Quebec Nordiques, and we're up 1, and Stastny rips the face-off out of my hands, back to their D, boom, it's in our net. We lose in overtime, and he's taking media questions after the game, why are you putting a rookie in there, why this and that, the kid hasn't scored much, and he saw something in there to continue to keep me there. We had an 11-game losing streak that year, which is kind of unheard of, but halfway through, Cliff Fletcher, which never talks to anybody, he called the centers up to his office, and I'm skating around in practice, so I got word that I was supposed to go see Cliff after practice. This is in the middle of my second year, and in a fog, just going, what the heck's going to happen? I'm going to get sent down, and our coach, Bob Murdoch, taps me on the shoulder, relax, everything's good. So you're never, ever steady until maybe that end of that first year. We went to the finals, of all things. We had a good finish, and you start to believe that you can play and that you belong, you contribute. You start, to Marty's point, leadership, and you try to bring what you can, and by the next year, things you start to roll, and then now I'm a leader. Now I'm a guy that's going to tell how it's going to happen, and now I'm here, and I believe in myself, and then you kind of go on from there. But it's not easy. It's a tough road.
Check. I love the shout out with the Cape Breton Oilers. I'm from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, so that was awesome. Just to let you know, there's about 15 minutes, so we'll do a couple more questions, and I know you wanted to open up to the audience for a few questions.
Well, well, Joel and I then will.
I know everybody wants to hear about the battles and
that was
the
my
crap
next
we had to
question.
take with these guys.
Well, first of all, I want to say that, the Battle of Alberta is a big deal, but I have to really touch upon the fact, the respect that both teams had for each other.
Kind of.
Well, but respect, and like did Paul Baxter spearing somebody and then covering his head? I didn't respect that. But a guy like Lanny, and there's so many guys on that team, like that team in 1989, I think they had 9 guys at one point who scored 50 goals.
Yes.
And that's not counting Gary Suter and Al McGinnis, who were marvelous players. And so that was a super talented, and in 1988 when we played against the Oilers, I remember Mark Messier basically looking around the room, second round of the playoffs, he goes, let's not kid each other. Whoever wins this series is winning the Stanley Cup. So this is the Stanley Cup Finals, and we better be prepared to win the cup in this series if we're going to do it. And so the respect you had, but the preparation for those games was different.
Yeah.
The moods in the cities
yeah.
were different. And you go in and you just don't want to give an inch, because in a way you hate them. But at the same time, you see a young Gary Suter and you go, that's a hell of a hockey player. You see a young Joe Nieuwendyk, you're like, oh my God, that's a really good hockey player.
Yeah.
And so there's respect, but there's a bit of hatred. Like I can't. Like Joel's going to say, there's so many times I tried to fight you and Popliski and the rest of those guys, and just wanted a piece of them. And Tim Hunter, I just wanted to fight him one-on-one, pull him away from the pack of wolves, right? And just.
Well, the greatest thing for me was that my coach thought I was something that I could handle Messier, or I had a job to do. So I was supposed to not get involved with some of the guys on the other team. So I was the bravest one around. I could do whatever I want and make sure that I stay on the ice. So I didn't have to fight Marty. I didn't have to fight Kevin McClellan. I didn't have to fight Dave Semenko if I didn't have to. And that was kind of important that the Flames, let me say, the Flames, we were built to compete with the Oilers. There's no question about that. They had won 2 cups. By the time I came in '84, they're searching for big players. They're searching for physicality. Messier, I'm sure, is running rampant throughout the league at that point. And we had Doug Risebrough, Kerry Wilson, and Dan Quinn were the centers, and Steve Tambolini. I don't know if you remember any of those names. And they were not big guys. They were small. And I was fortunate enough to be a big guy that was playing center. I was smart enough to know that I needed to be physical, and the whole team was built to compete against the Oilers, because we knew that was the road to the Stanley Cup. We wanted to be there. The city of Calgary, I met a Calgarian over here, and it's important to beat Edmonton. And one of the best stories I have of not winning the cup, or the things that I did with the U.S. team and things like that, was Game 5 in 1986. I don't know if you heard this story. It's Game 5. So we go up to Edmonton, where we won Game 1 in Edmonton. You guys were the favorites and the number 1 seed. We won Game 1, probably caught them off guard. They won Game 2. I don't remember the games that well. We come back to Calgary. Probably they're feeling a little bit better about themselves. We won Game 3. They win Game 4. So we go up to Edmonton, and we started out strong. I think we won 4-1, and we're coming back in the airport and took the charter back. And as you come in with the airplane, the big engines are rolling, and all of a sudden you hear this faint roar on top of it. And the pilot comes on, he says, guys, you got company in there. And we get off the plane, and there's 2,000 to 3,000 to 5,000 people in the airport concourse. We can't move. We're getting off. They're screaming and yelling, giving us high fives. We're stuck at the airport, the parkade, for 2 hours trying to get home because we got a game in 2 more days, or the next day after tomorrow. And they are ecstatic, and it's game 5. We haven't done anything yet. We still had to win the series. Go back up to, or play in Calgary, we lose game 6, and we go back up to Edmonton. And unfortunately for Steve, the goal that got kicked in, and we were able to beat Edmonton, which was so huge for the city of Calgary, and we flew back, and they got smarter and kept everybody outside the fence, but there's 25,000 people there waiting for us. And that was the Stanley Cup to Calgary at that point. We didn't win after that. We lost to Montreal, which is a huge disappointment in our lives, but beating Edmonton was everything to Calgary. We were heroes, and they were the pinnacle of hockey. They had great superstars. They had great role players. They all knew their jobs. And for me, thankfully, I was able to, because of the Oilers, get a job in the NHL, and then smart enough to figure it out and know what I had to do. But that was important. We needed Edmonton. I think Edmonton needed Calgary.
Yeah, no, best rivalry in the game. A couple things is, I was so fortunate in Edmonton that I played with the best team in the world. I really honestly believe that. I had a chance to practice. I treated practice with the Edmonton Oilers like a fantasy camp hockey school. And what that afforded me, I had the chance to play in that outdoor game, the first outdoor game at Commonwealth Stadium. And that was, when you respect the game and you love the game, that just for me was so much fun. The day before, we went out to practice at Commonwealth Stadium, and we got all our stuff on, and I come out, got my gear on and your toques, we're going to practice. And there's 15,000 school kids they've bussed in to watch us practice the day before the game at 20 below zero. I took my toque off. The hair in the back of my neck is standing up because you're like, this is such an unbelievable experience. But it's because of the team and the people and the players. And we played against Montreal with Larry Robinson, Guy Lafleur, Steve Shutt, and all of those guys. And I was like a little kid out there skating outside where, I grew up skating with my brothers. And here I am in the first outdoor game in history playing with all these guys. And one funny story is we're riding to the game, and Wayne Gretzky's working with the Coyotes and Kevin Lowe's working with the Edmonton Oilers. And they're complaining about salaries, and guy scores 20 goals, he's making $4 million. Do you believe that? And, complaining about it. And I'm sitting there because I'm coaching the American Hockey League at the time. And I'm like, what a couple of grumpy old bastards, right? And out of the back of the bus came a moment of levity. Dave Semenko. I know this guy. He scored 7 goals and made $7 million. And the whole bus went really quiet. And then everybody started laughing. Wayne Gretzky's last year with the New York Rangers, he made $7 million and only scored 7 goals. So Gretz turns around, touche Semenko, okay, I stand corrected, right? But it was just that way with that team. But it just afforded me such a wonderful group of people that was so unselfish. Yeah. Here's a question for you guys. What do you think, or who do you think scared Wayne Gretzky the most? Any ideas? When Monica Seles got stabbed.
Oh, wow, yeah.
When Monica Seles got stabbed on the tennis court, it freaked Gretz out because he's at that moment, he's like, oh my God, he goes, there's going to be copycats. People are going to think they're going to help their team win. And from that moment, our bus never stopped outside a building. Always pulled inside a rink. All of that moment, the gates were not 6 feet apart where people could mark up your suits with Sharpies. They were 20 feet away, right? You never had to walk through a crowd to get to a rink. And Gretz would never go out for dinner on the road by himself. He'd call and say, hey, listen, you want to go for dinner or whatever? And I'm like, but he'd always take 5, 6 guys with him, because that really freaked him out. And you remember the old Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens, where it freaks you out today when you think about it. There'd be the period to get ready to start, and the coach would move out of the way while the fans walk between the coach and the players and walk up the steps to their seats. Like they walked right through the bench. We were in Maple Leaf Gardens the one night, and I was playing with LA, and I come off the ice. The bench is never big enough. I'm squeezed in, the door is right there, and I'm getting ready to go back out, and I'm going to trip and fall and never get out. And all of a sudden, I pick up a water bottle, take a drink of water bottle, and his big hand comes over. I give him the water bottle. I'm watching the game, and I look, and it's John Candy. John's sitting in the seat next to the bench, stuffed in the chair with a fur coat. He took a drink of water, he goes like this, tough shift, just handed the water bottle back to me. You got any really good stories that you want to add here?
No.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Mine are all just, I was prepared for the Edmonton-Calgary battle. I don't know if anybody remembers Marty and Doug Risebrough going at it. They had a brawl in probably 86, I think, one of those games in that season. And Marty might have did a little damage on Doug. He's not that much. Doug's very feisty. When I came to Calgary, we had 3 captains. It was Doug Risebrough, Lanny McDonald, and Jim Poplinski. And they all had unique qualities, and they were great leaders. And so, each one had different ways of preparing us and doing stuff. So after a first period, if we were no good, we'd come back in, and back then they had the water bottles or the water glasses in the middle of the thing, and Greiser would storm into the rink, into the locker room, and he'd dump everything over. God damn, we got to get going. And he was the fiery, we're not competing enough, blah, blah, blah. And then Lanny would go, all right, guys, we can do this. He's the positive one. We can do this together. Let's pull the strings together and come together as a team, blah, blah, blah. And then Pep was the thinker. But I forget where I was going here now.
Let me ask you, your favorite memories of the game, the NHL game in your career?
Sorry. We'll go back to the Marty and Doug Risebrough. That's where we were going at. So Marty kicks the crap out of Doug Risebrough. I don't know if I was on the ice and was supposed to jump in, but period ends, we go back in, and I had Pierre Paget as my coach in Moncton, and he's an assistant this year. He comes up to me, and I'm sitting there, and you better do something. Bang. Okay, what am I going to do? Well, I'm not going after Marty. I'm not going after Kevin McClellan. I'm not going after Dave Semenko. Who else did you have? I don't know. There's a list of everybody. So poor Craig McTavish, probably the only guy without a helmet left in the league, is taking a face-off on the other side of me in our zone, and I jump him and start wailing on him. And he kind of get to the penalty box. He's like, what the are you doing? Sorry. You don't understand. Sorry. I'm trying to stay. And I ironically played with Mac T in Philadelphia, and he's a great guy. And that's the other thing about hockey. You can't stand anybody that you play against. And it couldn't, if you went to war and fought him 500 times, if you're his teammate the next day, you love him to death and you'll do anything for him. It's a crazy sport, and it's what makes it so special.
A couple of I'm going to say a couple of my favorite memories, and I'll let you follow it up with a couple of your favorite memories. I went to the All-Star game in Montreal the one year, and I see the itinerary and everything. I'm there for player meetings, and I called my dad and said to my dad, come and meet me. I wasn't married and single, and I said, meet me in Montreal and come up for the All-Star game. I got him a ticket to the game. My dad grew up a Rocket Richard fan. So we're in Montreal, and my dad would get up around 6 o'clock in the morning, shower, and put his shirt and tie on, be down in the lobby, and just loved the environment, coming off the farm. So I said to my dad, meet me in the lobby tomorrow morning, about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And so we go down there, we get a coffee, and I said, let's go for a walk. So we walk over to the Forum, and we walk in, and the security guards look at us because the All-Star game's the next day. And so I kind of waved to the security guards, and we walk into the Forum. My dad says, what's going on? I says, I thought we'd walk over and walk through the Forum and get a chance to see it. And, the insides and all of it, nobody was there. We walk up in the stands, and my dad and I sit down, and there's only 2 other people in the whole building sitting across the rink. And about 5 minutes later, Phil Esposito skates out on the ice, Frank Mahovlich, Brad Park, all of the old-timers are having a practice. And I looked, and my dad was so fired up. He's looking at seeing all these guys that he idolized, that played in the NHL for years, and they were old timers. And I had a chance to sit there with my dad and just enjoy the game and all these wonderful players from an era long before when I played. And I knew at that moment why I loved the game so much and why I cared about the game and played it and respected it, because you share that moment with your dad in the game of hockey.
A quick one to follow that up, and then I'll let you go. We did a charity game years ago down in Calgary, Old Timers, and Gilbert Perreault came and played for the Old Timers, and I was playing against him. My son Ben was about 7 years old, and he came down to the rink with me, and we were sitting getting dressed, and I walked around in the Legends room to try to get some autographs and for our charity, and I said, "Hey Ben, you see that guy over there? That's Joe Perreault. That was my John LeClair. He was a big John LeClair fan because we played in Philly, and that's my hero." And so I'm getting dressed, we're in the other dressing room getting dressed, and all of a sudden my kid comes up with this little tiny ticket, and it's got a scribbled name on it, and "What's this, Ben?" And "It's Gilbert Perreault's autograph for you." So I thought that was the greatest thing I ever got. My son was nice enough to go get me my idol's autograph on a little piece, on whatever he had, of memorabilia, his little ticket stub, and I got it in my office hanging up. How cool that was. So family and all that. We're blessed to be able to play with, and Marty played with superstars in Edmonton and LA and everywhere else. I mean, he was a suitcase. He played everywhere. He had to play with a bunch of guys. And I was blessed with the guys that I played with in Calgary and Philly. And I think we had 6 Hall of Famers in Calgary. Marty had 7 in Edmonton. And what an awesome time to play and be a part of. It's great to talk about now. It wasn't so fun back then, but it's great to talk about it now.
It was fun.
Oh, it was really fun for you.
One last thing, Michael, and I'll let you go, is I did Hockey Day in Canada in Lloydminster a number of years ago. And Scotiabank asked me, so we did the morning skate outside the City Hall in Edmonton around 6 o'clock, breakfast TV. We finished skating, and it was wonderful. It was great. Early morning, sun's coming up, and I'm on the ice in front of City Hall, and we get in a car, and I ride with a guy from Scotiabank in Toronto, and we stop in Vermilion, and we stop at like 2 or 3 places in Alberta, going to Lloydminster to celebrate Hockey Day in Canada. At one point, he gets a phone call, and he goes, "Oh my God." And I said, "What's going on?" He said, "There was a big windstorm in Lloyd last night." He said, "Blew over the light standards. It wrecked the boards, wrecked the ice. The whole facility where we're going to have all the kids playing and all the stuff we're going to do for Hockey Day in Canada is ruined." I looked at him and I said, "We'll be fine." He says, "What do you mean?" I said, "We'll be fine." He goes, "No, you don't understand." I said, No, you don't understand." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I know the people." And he goes, and we pull in. There's like 3 or 4 cranes there the company sent in. There's welders fixing the boards. There's all the carpenters, there's all the tradesmen that come in from the oil patch, whatever they need to do, and they got it all done. The ice couldn't freeze quick enough, but they fixed the boards and the light standards and everything went along because I know the people. I've been up to Fort Mac a few times. I've got to know a lot of people up here. I really, really enjoy the people. When I had the offer to come, Carly, Matt, thank you very, very much. I looked forward to it. Mike, yeah. We'll talk about it later in behind the woodshed. But thank you for having us. We really, really appreciate it, and I'll see you again soon.
The Stewart brothers, Bobby, Danny, and Jay, have had a strong presence in the world of hockey, and their achievements are a testament to their dedication and hard work. Bobby's journey began in his hometown with the Fort McMurray Oil Barons, where he was named the Alberta Junior Hockey League's Rookie of the Year in 1992-93. He also won the NCAA Division I Hockey Championships in 98-99, the United Hockey League Colonial Cup 2002 and 2003, and the Allen Cup 2007-2008. Born in 1979, Danny's career on the international scene is noteworthy to say the least. with a total of 802 games played, 161 goals, 293 assists, and 1,596 penalty minutes. He has the most games played as an imported player in the EIHL. Danny's currently the head coach of the Nottingham Panthers. Born in 1977, Jay played junior hockey with the Oakville Blades of the Ontario Provincial Junior Hockey League from 1995 to 1998 and was the captain in his final season with the Blades. He also has an NCAA Division III hockey championship from 2001-2002. The Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame welcomes inductees, the Stewart brothers.
Hi guys, Danny Stewart here from Nottingham in the UK. Firstly, apologies for not being able to make it. I got a new gig here in Nottingham this season, and we got big games coming up this weekend as this induction is on, and really gutted that I couldn't make it. But firstly, I just wanted to thank Curtis J. Phillips and the whole committee of the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame for this great honor. Not only is it an honor to be inducted as an individual, but alongside my two brothers is even more special. I'd also like to obviously thank my mom and dad. We're certainly products of them and their selflessness and their hard work, and certainly wouldn't be where we are without them. And also thank you to the city of Fort McMurray. I mean, awesome city, man. We sure miss our time there. Loved growing up there as a kid, and got many fond memories and some many close friends there from back in our youth. And I think part of our success is down to the city itself, and I know you guys have been through a lot of adversity the last 4 or 5 years certainly, and I can't thank you guys enough in the city of Fort McMurray for everything they did for us growing up and the character it helped us build. There's a Snoop Dogg quote that I'll change a little bit, and it's, you can take the boy out of Fort McMurray, but you can't take the Fort McMurray out of the boy. So I certainly think that rings true with us and, me and my two brothers, and we never lost that kind of chip on our shoulder, and I think it's helped us in the hockey world and outside of it. So again, thank you very much. Sorry I couldn't be there. Hope you guys have a fantastic night, and congratulations to the rest of the inductees as well.
Hello, everybody. I just want to apologize for not being there tonight. The intention was to be there. I'm in the U.S. now with a company, and sometimes with timelines and framework and paperwork. It's sometimes a lengthy process that doesn't always allow you to go back and forth like you want. So I apologize for not being there. I wanted to thank the Wood Buffalo Hall of Fame for this great honor, the committee representing and inducting the following members. I really appreciate that. And then again, a big heartfelt to Dale Unruh, who I've become really great friends with. We've driven the bus over at Salmon Arm the last 7 years, getting well over 100 scholarships in that time for kids and making sure the development's there. And hats off to Dave Tease for, pulling this group of characters in, because they were definitely a group of characters at the time. So to rein these guys in and get them on the right path, I know still to this day, many talk about you being their best coach they've ever had. So a great honor to you and your family. Starting with my brothers, I just want to say this is something that, all kids would dream of, being a full family member that all had the same goals, same initiatives to get better as much as they can. Watching Jay win a national championship, going to 4 Final Fours, and Daniel winning a bunch of championships and having a long pro career, and as well having a great coaching career has been just awesome to see. It all really started with our parents getting us outdoors, making us move, being in all multi-sports, which I try to instill with my kids today. So my parents have been just, not only great parents, like a lot of years parents have been, but, our friends during times where we needed to hear and lean on them for advice. They were always there for us, and, really lucky to have them. I just have to throw a lot of hats off to some of the great players I played with in Fort McMurray, from Terrence Oliver to Sean McFatridge, Tyler Romanchuk, Our last year junior there, we had, AJ Aiken, Brad Mueller. We had so many Fort McMurray kids. So it just was a testament to the growth, just like the Midget A team that won it with, I think there was a lot of good support back in the 80s and 90s for development and good coaching, and it was a really close-knit community, and you just saw that development with all kids. So again, I just want to wish everybody a great night and wish I could be there. I know I'll touch base with most of you in the future here, and to the whole Fort McMurray community, just thank you for everything you've done for our family. There isn't a better city growing up in than that one, and you don't realize it sometimes until you're so far away from it. You realize that character that instilled in you today is a lot that you got from your friendships and people over there. So,
good. Yeah, thanks. Obviously, he got cut off. He likes to talk a lot, Bobby. So it was kind of fitting to see him get cut off short. So just my own. But I just want to thank the city of Fort McMurray, along with the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. It's such an honor. Marty said it the best. Coming from this town, growing up in Fort McMurray, you remember the Townside Arena. Getting on the bus with Frank Lacroix. Going out of town for the weekend. So, and having Joma's fries after a hockey game on Townside Arena. So, there's a lot of good memories, and it's appreciated. Curtis J, once again, it's having a good weekend over whether it's playing minor hockey or not, and looking if you got a couple points, is is he going to write about me this weekend? So it's good to see you, and we appreciate your support over the years as well. So so thank you, and congratulations to all the other inductees. And I think that's good.
The Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame will be delivering Danny Stewart's ring and frame photo in person next week when our entertainer from tonight, Diane Phillips, on the piano, will be traveling to Britain to watch the Cardiff Devils, of which her brother is part owner, play Nottingham, of which Danny coaches. So they will get the ring. Let's give them one more round of applause. We are going to be going back to our multi-sport awards. Just hold on a sec, sorry. Next, we have the Community Sportsmanship Award, which recognizes the outstanding contributions and achievements made by an individual or group that have benefited our community in the spirit of sport and sportsmanship. Let's take a moment to celebrate the impactful work of this year's recipient.
Community Sportsmanship, Tegan Warner.
Tegan Warner is a dedicated gymnast, and the Alberta Gymnastics Federation has classified her as a national athlete. Tegan has demonstrated leadership beyond her years, exceptional sportsmanship with teammates and competitors, as well as an enthusiasm for trying new things and improving her performance. Tegan's athletic abilities are evident in everything she participates in, and coaches absolutely love having her on extracurricular teams.
Tegan volunteers for extracurricular activities as well, and is involved with Santa's Anonymous, a non-profit organization that provides Christmas hampers for families within the RMWB and surrounding rural Indigenous communities. She also helped to pack hampers for a haunted house fundraiser at school. Congratulations, Tegan Warner.
It's my great pleasure to announce that the recipient of this year's Community Sportsmanship Award is another Father Merck student, Tegan Warner.
Growing up in Fort McMurray has been amazing. I've had the chance to try so many sports, from snowboarding in the winter to golfing and boating in the summer. But my absolute favorite has to be gymnastics. It's been a big part of my life since I was 18 years old, and I feel so lucky to represent Fort McMurray on Team Alberta at Westerns and Nationals. I want to give a huge thank you to my parents, grandparents, that are here tonight for their support. And a special shout out to Coach Josh for your guidance that has helped me grow as an athlete and as a leader. And I love being a mentor to the younger athletes. Thank you for this amazing honor.
Now we're going to transition to the next category, the Sport Builder of the Year Award. This award honors an individual who has made significant contributions to the development and growth of sports in our community, demonstrating exceptional commitment and passion for fostering athletic opportunities. Please turn your attention to the screen for a video tribute highlighting the achievements of this year's recipient.
Wood Buffalo Sports Connection Multi-Sports Award winner for Sport Builder, Kira Pels.
Kira is the owner and coach at Premier Academy FM. She coaches hundreds of kids and continues to push them towards their goals, harboring an inclusive, safe, positive, and uplifting environment for athletes of all ages while ensuring they are having skill progression and success.
Kira has coached teams that placed first, second, and third throughout Alberta, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia.
She started an all-abilities team for special needs students and has brought cheerleading programs to elementary schools throughout Fort McMurray.
Congratulations, Kira Pels.
It's my pleasure to announce that the recipient of the Sport Builder of the Year Award goes to Kira Peltz. We also work together at Father Merck.
Oh, what an honor. I'm happy and honored to accept this year's Sport Builder Award. On behalf of Premier Academy, it's not just me. To be on the list of nominees is already an honor in itself. 6 years ago, we started a small program with less than 50 kids, setting up and tearing down every day in the small gym at Father Bow. Little did we know that incredible growth that we would experience and the impact it would have on our community. Watching our now just over 400 young athletes grow up in our program and become leaders themselves has been incredibly rewarding. This continued growth is a testament to the unwavering dedication to our coaching staff. There are now 15 on staff who are truly the heart and soul of Premier Academy. Their passion and commitment to the families in our program have made heading into our 7th season possible. We are humbled by this award and eager to continue contributing to the RMWB community. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for this recognition, and here's to many more years of learning, growing, and achieving together. Thank you.
Next up, Female Athlete of the Year. It's time to recognize an exceptional athlete who has not only excelled in her sport, but also has demonstrated remarkable perseverance and leadership. The Female Athlete of the Year Award honors a female athlete who has made significant contributions to her team and the community. Let's take a moment to celebrate the achievements of this year's recipient. Please turn your attention to the screens for the video tribute highlighting her impressive accomplishment.
Wood Buffalo Sports Connection Multi-Sports Award winner for Female Athlete of the Year, Sydney Berry.
Sydney is a true inspiration and role model for many young women and people in the RMWB. She constantly pushes herself and exceeds gender boundaries for women in sport. Sydney excels in sports and has achieved athletic awards for her school in multiple sports. Baseball is her passion, but others include golf, track, and basketball that she has participated in throughout school.
Sydney has competed at the AAA level on an all-boys team for the past several years. She represented her community well at the 18U National Championships in 2023, along with being selected for Team Alberta in the 16U Girls Nationals in 2019 and Women's Nationals in 2023.
While representing Team Alberta last year, Sydney pitched a complete game to secure the bronze medal for Team Alberta.
Congratulations, Sydney Berry.
What an incredible video. I'm thrilled to announce that the recipient of the Female Athlete of the Year is graduated last year from Father Merck. I know. Sydney Berry.
Thank you, everyone. I'm very honored to get this award, especially for a sport that I love and I've been playing for 15, 16 years. I would especially like to thank Mike Mayock for nominating me for this award, and for my parents for always supporting me through this journey and all the money that they have put into me for this sport. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
Great job, Sydney. So, I'm winning. All right, moving along. Team of the Year. Let's turn our attention to a very, very special award, the Team of the Year. This award recognizes a team that has demonstrated excellence, teamwork, and sportsmanship throughout the year. Let's take a moment to look at these video screens highlighting their achievements.
Wood Buffalo Sports Connection Multi-Sports Award winner for Team of the Year, the Keyano Huskies men's soccer and futsal team.
First with soccer, finishing with a 9-2-1 record with 34 goals for and 10 against, the Huskies won the ACAC title with penalty kicks against the Nate Ooks. Soccer head coach Neil Slotboom won Coach of the Year, and James Bartha, Carl Tranch, William Lee, Cleason Anklam, and Fort McMurray's own Corbin Cyprian were standouts both provincially and nationally.
In futsal, they finished with a perfect 10-0 record with 37 goals for and 18 against. This gives Keyano the most championships of any active team in the ACAC for soccer and futsal.
Anklam led the team as the ACAC Futsal North Player of the Year, while Tano Torsha, Hafid Arliano, and Jaden McLaren were all singled out with awards.
Congratulations to the Keyano men's soccer and futsal team.
As a former coach of the Keyano women's soccer team, we didn't quite win, but I am very thrilled to announce that the Team of the Year award goes to your Keyano College men's soccer and futsal team.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of all of us, Keyano men's soccer team, we are truly thankful for receiving this award. We would not be where we are now without the tremendous support of the Wood Buffalo community, Keyano College, our sponsor Diversified, the Syncrude Sport and Wellness Center, MacDonald Island, and everyone else who has been involved throughout our success. We are very conscious of the fact that we represent the region of Wood Buffalo and are proud to do so across Alberta and Canada. We have a game tomorrow here at Shell Place at 2 p.m. So it would be great to see you guys, everyone here is welcome to come, and as we continue to just push for another title. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Are we going to attempt the picture? Maybe, do you want them to go outside and get a picture outside? If you guys don't mind going outside. Great speech, though. Well done. Let's give them a round of applause. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., Joel, Marty, do you guys want to go to the soccer game with me tomorrow? Oh, I'll come with you now. I just invited myself. Okay, next up, rolling along, Coach of the Year. This award recognizes an outstanding coach who has demonstrated exceptional leadership, dedication, and passion for developing athletes and fostering a positive team environment. Let's take a moment to watch the video celebrating this remarkable coach's contributions.
The Wood Buffalo Sports Connection Multi-Sports Award winner for Coach of the Year, Laura Wood.
Laura has worked hard supporting her athletes to help them bring out their personal best and excellence. She built up the team in a short time. With the pandemic just ending and upcoming competitions, Laura helped her team to prepare for the provincial games.
Only having 6 months to train the team is a challenge for any coach. Laura did this with her team, and in doing so, through encouragement, hard work, and dedication, they received the highest achievement they could by winning gold at the provincial games.
Her team won gold in the division at Special Olympics Alberta Provincial Games 2023, as well as 4 of the 5 team members won medals in their individual competitions. They were then selected to represent Team Alberta at the upcoming Special Olympics Canada Winter Games in 2024.
Congratulations, Laura Wood.
Well, I'm excited to announce that the Coach of the Year award goes to Laura Wood.
I'm truly humbled and honored to receive this award today. When I started volunteering 3.5 years ago, I never imagined the journey that it would take me on. I am not an athlete by any stretch of the imagination, but I had a passion to bring out the best in my athletes, to encourage them to have the best lives that they could within the sport that they chose. And to quote one of my athletes that outed me at provincial training camp, my motto was do as I say, not as I do, because I'm no bowler. Thank you.
She's getting shout-outs. All right, we have now reached our 4th induction and last induction into the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. I feel you. Our next inductee into the Wood Buffalo Sport Hall of Fame had a remarkable season, a true Cinderella story that captivated our community. Faced with numerous challenges and obstacles throughout the year, showcasing incredible perseverance, teamwork, and sportsmanship. Their journey to the championships was filled with unforgettable moments, proving that with hard work and dedication, anything is possible. Let's take a look at their video.
The prior year, in which the Midget Oil Barons won only 3 games during the 18-game schedule, the team averaged 39 penalty minutes per game. The coach says, our objective is to keep players out of the box this year. Not only did they stay out of the box, but they also developed local stars like Tom Keka, who would finish the Central Alberta Midget AA Hockey League regular season as the scoring champion with 47 goals and 44 assists. His line mates, Eric Marchand and Greg Scott, would kick in with 78 and 57 points respectively. Greg Noble, Ryan Pruden, and Pablo Parra were also stars. The team had to take on and bring down Sandy's Oilers of Sherwood Park and the #1 ranked team from Lloydminster. The Fort McMurray Midget Oil Barons did not need a series for either team, as they took the best-of-3 series by 2 games to none. The Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame welcomes inductees, the Fort McMurray Midget Oil Barons.
I also had the opportunity to work with Tom Keka at Father Merck as well. Please join me in welcoming the Fort McMurray U18 Midget Barons to the stage to accept this well-deserved honor.
Very special night. Our team would like to first of all thank the nomination committee and the board for the honor and privilege of this award. And Curtis J. Phillips for, I don't know how long now, 40 years of just absolute community dedication, and a leader. Put this thing together. Without you, Curtis, I know nothing would have happened. So I want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. Like to also thank Trish, Bobby, Jay, Dan, Danny on the inductions tonight. I mean, I look at those pictures of Stonewalker, and wow, that gives me chills. You know, I remember Danny growing up with them downtown, and talking to some people tonight, they remember the same thing. So God bless them. And our team was coached by Dave Tees on my left, Rob Lacroix, Don Brown, and Marv Behill. And to be quite frank with you, it changed my life. It really did. And it was a long time ago. I know we're all old men up here, but I tell you, last night we went out and it was like we were 15 again. We had fun. Yeah. So you know, and I a couple memories. You know, we would go to the coaches. We would go to the coaches' house lots. Teaser would have us all over, and he'd say, "Boys, you know what? I know that you guys are pissed off at each other. You two right here. You gotta settle the score here. Like, you know, if you guys got anything here, you got to talk about it right now." And we weren't used to that. It was a lot of parents. To be quite frank, there was parent coaches, and there was this, and there was that, and it was the same guys all the time. And Dave brought this element of responsibility as a young man to all of us. And we had guys like, you know, to be quite frank again, we had Peter, Tom, and these guys are all studs, and they were always cued in. But we had some guys who were misfits and liked the trouble and all this stuff, and we had penalties, and I probably had most of those penalty minutes. I did, actually. But, you know, so it's again, Dave brought us together and taught us that discipline is key, and it is. And I learned a life lesson, and we can all be really, really proud of Dave and all these guys right here on my right-hand side. I love you all. And thanks for coming tonight, and thanks for being part of it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Not much in talking, but I have to say one thing. When these guys got together, nobody could beat us. And the best part of us, we were from the north, and we went south and kicked it out of them. That's what I like the best.
You talked all your life. Get over there.
He lost his voice last night.
The boys did it to me again last night.
We went out to Earl's last night, and they said, "You coming to the bar next door? It's the casino." I said, "No, I'm going to bed." 5 o'clock in the morning, they're still wandering around. That was normal. But one thing stood out. When we got to St. Albert, we get into our rooms. I'm just settling down. I'm saying, we got to do this. We can't blow this. I get a phone call from the manager. He says, "I have no ice on any of the floors." I said, it's got to be Mr. Unruh. I go and knock on his door, and there's a piece of plywood in the tub, and you've never seen so much beer in your life. And one more. The biggest goal of the whole season was near the end. There were 3 seconds in Lloyd, and I'm screaming, "Shoot Keka, shoot Keka." He shoots, 1 second left, it's 2-1. The final score was 2-1, and that's when this team turned around. That's what I
Well, what an incredible evening it has been. Thank you for all your generous bids in our silent auction. Before we wrap up, I want to give a huge shout out to our amazing sponsors, Boucher, Headco, MapPate, IG Wealth Management, Prestige Jeweler, Garda World, Caldwell Banker, and North Star Ford. Thank you for your support. You're the real MVPs tonight. I was given instructions by CJ, and I would like to recognize Mickey Demers. Mickey was the original sponsor to get behind the creation of the WBSHF down at Syncrude Sport and Wellness Center. Let's give him a round of applause. He's right there. He's hiding. There he is. And as tradition, I'm going to say good night. I hope you had a wonderful night, but CJ is going to come up and close our awards. So thank you, and CJ is going to come up now.
I'd like to thank our guest speakers, Marty McSorley, excellent man, and Joel Otto. When I first met Joel, I told him one of my first jobs was covering the Winnipeg Jets in the WHA, and he looked at me and said, "You're old." Thank you. It was nice meeting you. And what was really great is just seeing people like Dale Unruh. I know, Dale, your father's looking down with pride, and Frank Lacroix is looking down at his son in pride, and Poppy, where's Poppy? Her dad was my best friend, Danny Lindstrom, and he had a lot of trials and tribulations in his life after boxing. He was perhaps one of the best athletes ever come out of Fort McMurray, but unfortunately in life we have detours, and Danny went on a detour, unfortunately. We were always there for him. When you think of a small town like Fort McMurray, and you have a young boy who starts a sport at 10, and then he goes to fight Michael Moore for a world championship. That's huge. That is amazingly huge. And with sport, and I'd like to thank the Wood Buffalo Sport Connection, Carly Anderson, for joining in, doing a great job. I'm always on their case every 5 seconds phoning, and is this done, is this done, is this done? That's just who I am. I'm a micromanager, I guess. But I'll be really quick. With sport, if you look at academia, if you get 30% in school or 40% in school, you're a failure. You know, your parents won't be happy. In sport, if you get 30% or 40%, if you hit 40% in baseball, you're a superstar. If you hit 50% in basketball, you're a superstar. So with sports, you're going out there knowing you're going to fail most of the time. So that is the joy of sports, going out there and showing your weakness, showing your strengths. And when you get older, I've been fortunate to be in this business for 50 years now. It's not the awards. Awards or championships are just a moment in time. And that's what the two gentlemen here from the NHL, it was the friendships. And that's what is the joy of sport. And I really like to thank the Boucher Company. They've come to the forefront. I haven't had the opportunity to meet them, but I will be hitting them up for sponsors. But in past years, you know, having the sponsors there like the John Wilsons and the CBS and Leo Roberts, we need people to fill those spots. Because in each and every kid lies the energy and dedication to achieve something in life. And it is people like yourself sponsoring or people coaching, holding that key to open that door of a responsibility for them. But once again, if you're ever looking to volunteer, you can give us a shout at the Wood Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. Contact Matt Pate. And a great evening.
We have one more announcement that I forgot. I'll take this.
Okay, is it about another Father Burke athlete? There's 5 high schools in town. You know that, right? I started Challenge Cup in 1983, and Father Burke. No, that's fine.
Mr. Dave Boucher. fishing trip for $3,000.
Okay, you go ahead.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Father Mercady, I guess, yeah. This is the last, final, but Mr. Dave Boucher has won the fishing trip with, he's sitting right next to him, Marty, for $3,000. So let's give him a big round of applause. I can't wait to see you there, guys. Thought I'd try. Anyway, on that note, thank you very much. Have a great evening and love sports.